This broadcast is brought to you by the all-electric Kia EV5. Test drive yours today. The West Coast Eagles, foundation partner of the WAFLW. Amy, when the bounce serves you a clanger, lucky you're with Amy. Front Row Screens, your local streaming superheroes. And the Fremantle Dockers, proud partner of the WAFLW.
Yes, a very warm welcome to Sullivan Logistics Stadium for round 11 of the ATCO WAFLW season. It's the 6th place Subiaco hosting the 7th place Perth in Game of the Round live on the WAFL official YouTube channel. My name is Ethan Roth. It's a pleasure to have your company here in Leederville for this game between the Lions and the Demons. Subiaco have beaten Perth on all 3 occasions they've been against Perth. Of course, Perth, their second year in the WAFLW competition. They got the job done by 12 points over the Demons back in round 2 of this year. So the second matchup between these sides as they look to both close in on the top 5, both with negative win-loss records, but still a long way to go. Just ticked over halfway mark or thereabouts in the WAFLW, the ATCO WAFLW in season 2026. Subiaco also won the corresponding fixture here last year by 43 points in round 14, so a bit later on in the season. And in terms of this season, last week, Subiaco, round 10, a 6-point loss to Claremont, where they came back in the last quarter, but they couldn't quite get the job done over the Tigers. A 6-point loss to them. Perth, they're coming off the bye last week, so they'll be extra fresh. Previous to that, they had arguably their best win of the season against West Perth by 11 points. Poppy Stockwell kicking 7 goals. She has since departed the club, being picked up by Hawthorn as a replacement player, so that'll be an answer that they're looking to find. Of course, hard to replace a player of her quality, hence the AFLW call-up, but other avenues to goal will be the aim for Perth today. A couple of milestones for Subiaco, 50 game for both Eva Popovsky, who's the captaining the side today, and Charlotte Tompkin, former Claremont Tiger. She's also playing game 50, so congratulations to those two ladies. And in terms of ins and outs, 3 ins for Subiaco. Caitlin Boss comes in for her first game since the round 7 win over West Perth. Annabelle Johnson, who was a late out last week, but she is in the side today. Courtney Lindgren, first game since round 9 for Perth. They've got 3 ins themselves. Caitlin Cox comes in for her first game since round 2, which was against the Lions. She's been a high-profile recruit coming over from Richmond in the AFLW, 32 games in her AFLW career. Ivy Harding comes in for her first game since round 8, and also Taya Strickland as well since round 8, one of their premier goal kickers up forward. Teams just going through their last messaging in their respective huddles. Hopefully a close encounter as far as the game is concerned today. As I mentioned, Perth looking to beat Subiaco for the first time in the WAFLW history. Their second year in the competition. Going to be some interesting matchups all around. Looking at the midfield, the likes of Isabella Shannon, who's averaging over 27 disposals this year. Many tipped her to be a Dara Kerr medal favourite after finishing a runner-up last year. The likes of Crystal Petrevsky, of course, did win the Dara Kerr medal in there for the Lions. Paige Shepherd, who's having an outstanding season. Lisa Steen as well. Molly Warren in the ruck for Perth as well, leading the hit-outs by a whopping 45 more than the next best in the competition. So she's given first use to the midfielders this season, and they'll be the aim today in the Perth midfield. First quarter coming up. All thanks to Kia. It's ATCO WAFLW game of the round for round 11 live from Sullivan Logistics Stadium. It's going to be Plummer and Warren going up in the ruck. Neither can get a hand to it, and an early whistle for a free kick come back the way of Molly Warren for the D. She'll give a quick handball off there to Holly Britton, played on this venue in the state game, as did Isabella Shannon. Takes first mark of the day inside 50. Wants to go in the direction of Strickland. Just lost her footing there and taking a mark. Dana Lee in the back half, as she often does, playing on the last line of defence. Quick kick, just a bit too much on it for Petrevsky. Early turnover that Perth can have an opportunity to bounce back with. Shannon sidesteps her opponent. Back inside 50, similar direction she sent it in the first place. Comes down to ground level. Quick hand pass comes out there And now Johnson, as I said, back into the lineup, was a late out after being originally an inclusion last week. Off the deck went Petrevsky. Here is the 50 gamer, one of two out there today. Charlotte Tompkin kicks it up to the other 50 gamer there, and Eva Popovsky on the far side wing. Subiaco, first opportunity to go forward for them. Wanted Shell, but intercepting there was Timmermans, another state representative for the D's this year. Back in the direction, not overly convincing with the kick. Popovsky getting back to help out, has to get past Shannon. She does. On the far side, it remains. Clean pick up in the end by the Lions. Not sure which way they want to go though, so they just backtrack ever so slightly. Peters, quick kick on the left, hacking it forward. Sitting underneath this, looks like Shell, and here is one of those inclusions in Cox. First disposal for her. Demons have a bit of time and space to run with, and standing underneath it there is White. Just has to wait for people to get back. One of those players is Strickland, but coming the other way, she didn't have to in the end because her teammate takes the mark, and the D's can go back for their first shot of the afternoon. And the experience of Natalie House taking the mark. The oldest player out there for either side, 34 years of age. Comes in, confident looking approach. And she set the tone for the D's. Left foot kick is a pretty good one, and the D's make their mark here in Leederville. They're on the board to start WAFLW game around for round 11, and it's through Natalie House who converts their first. So Natalie House opens proceedings, 5th goal of the year. Played 9 games, so very consistent run at it for Perth this season. Back in the middle again. Ideal start for Perth. That'll be a key message from Steph Wadling and the coaching staff against Subiaco. Steen going the other way now for Subiaco. Playing from behind was Bauer. Got a fist to it. Remains in the forward half for Subiaco. Can they get a quick reply here? Popovsky hasn't kicked a goal so far this year. Is this an opportunity to do so? Not quite. Can they get through handpass? And Perth just do the conventional thing and knock it through from behind. So first score of the day for Subiaco through behind. Perth come out of the back half, just misfiring there with the kick. They're saying it was touched. Umpire's not having any of it, and Subiaco will get a gift, albeit from a very tough position. So not sure if a shot will be on the cards here. And looks like it's going to be 50 as well for Dissent, perhaps. So talk about a gift. It's going to be made all more easier, and that's not what's needed for Perth's sake. What would have been a very tough attempt from the boundary line far out is going to be a certain goal, you would think, to Courtney Lingren back into the lineup today, and she'll kick one of the more easier goals in her career. She does exactly that, and Subiaco, some would say, hand it to them, but they do reply and hit the front as well for the first time this afternoon. So Courtney Lindgren continues her goal-kicking form. Hasn't been goalless since round 6, and that's going to continue after slotting that goal for the Lions. They hit the front by 1 point. Just gone over 5 minutes here. ATCO WAFLW game of the round. Have another ball up from the outset. Quick hand pass out there from Petrevsky. Couple of players diving on top of it. Plummer got a second tap to it. Following it, here's Britton. Use teammate over the top in Cox. Intercepted though. Here come the Lions through Boss. Another inclusion today. Wants to go in the direction there of Woods. Cavalry arrive for Perth. They get it out of their back half through the numbers. Hand pass over the top, kick smothered. That'll be a sign that will please Subiaco the pressure that they can apply. Looking to take some of the momentum from the last quarter against Clermont last week into the start of today, despite not winning the game. They did win the last quarter against quality opposition in the benchmark in the Tigers. Quick kick comes around the corner. There's a genuine one-on-one in the middle of the ground. Perth win out. Here's Shannon. Has a bit of time and space to work with. Didn't muck around with it, getting on the boot. Strickland's playing from behind. Had to play the defending role in the offensive half. Ball just remains on the fringe here of half forward. Clean pick up there from Smogavic, and she definitely had a case for a high free kick. Umpire recognising that now. Too far out to score. Wants to go short, and honouring the lead here of Shannon, who's all by herself. Got around the defence of Peters, and Isabella Shannon, who's a long kick, can go back and try and replicate what Natalie House was able to do from a similar distance, just a bit more straight in front of the big sticks. So Isabella Shannon, captain for Perth, as I said, averaging over 27 disposals, putting together a great second season, the WAFLW. Couldn't quite get the purchase she was after there, and taking the mark is Lee once again. Quick kick out there for Corrin, takes the safe chest mark, as does Paige Shepherd. Talking about good season, she's averaging over 30 as well this season, her second year as well in the competition. Goes out to Tompkin. In the long sleeves today. Gooch around, gets her around it, and Gooch, the experienced one out there, she goes short, and a mark taken uncontested in the end by Harding. And maybe Gooch, she's played for free on West Coast for a reason, for a very long time, and Tompkin was just caught in two minds there. Can't do that against someone like Gooch's experience, and now Harding will have a shot at goal as a result of it. Comes in just always to the right, so Perth, they're first behind. We're all squared up in this first quarter. Perth have looked a bit more potent when they have gone forward. Score doesn't reflect that entirely, but remains in their full half an hour as Lee clears out. There's a player all by herself, although Strickland's going to go back with a flight. Couldn't quite impact. It's Johnson who wants to draw the opponent. Well, Corrin was on. That was ignored. Called to play on eventually. Perth first to the footy though through Cato. And on the second attempt, another mark is taken. Most of the play is in this forward half, as I said. Just misjudging it there, Perth. Shannon, great crumbing from her. She loses her footing, kept in the play through the little 1%er on the ground. Hand pass comes out. Can Perth get a bit of bang for buck? Under siege a little bit. Subiaco's back half in the moment. Tompkins down there helping out. Trying to get through was Vincey Sharp, and umpire says, I'll have it. 54% possession in favour of the D's. Shannon having to do the ruck work. Comes down to Johnson, clearing out. Playing from behind the lines. Hobbs is right there for Subiaco. Has to go on hands and knees, and umpire says, again, give it to me. This time Strickland in the ruck. They've got a few options who can do the ruck duties inside forward line where it remains. Shannon just gave away the legging free kick there, and Subiaco through Corrin, wasting no time, going as wide as they possibly can. And then short, Peters should take this mark. She just took her eyes off it for a moment. Luckily went back to the direction it came from Shepherd, spinning around on the right boot. Out wide. Perth holding up well. Good hand pass out there from Trindade. Around the body, again another drop mark that they usually would take, the D's. Can't fault their start though. And umpire's just circling here. Looks like going to be pinged for holding the ball, and that's exactly what's going to happen. So it'll come back the way of the visitors. House was on in the pocket. That was ignored. They might try and go a bit more centrally over the top. And that's a mark taken. Bit of a delayed whistle. Tompkins screaming for it on the near side. Couldn't quite hit the target. Outnumbered here, Perth. Overrunning it there, Harding. Ken Shepherd just stayed out of it. Gives it over to Tompkins, recognising the importance to get it on the boot. Unpredictable ball. Perth went out through Strickland, who remains composed. Goes over the top. Didn't quite hit the target, but gave at least a player in Baldwin a chance to run onto it. Holds the ground really well. Baldwin, this would be a tremendous finish over the top, and it just slams into the woodwork. Did well to shrug off the opponent, and nonetheless, Perth again ants their lead ever so slightly. Short ball unsuccessful for the Lions. Corcoran holds the ground well, goes into the corridor, wants Smith, right where there is Bauer. Bauer puts her head over it first to the ball, showing that she's making a genuine attempt, and umpire recognised that as well. No prior. Comes down, Shepherd, hand pass just misfired. Smolgavic drawing the opponent, wants to go over the top now to Power. Power shows her speed, but filling in the hole there was Johnson again. Right place, right time. Former Cat and Eagle at AFLW level goes across to Lee. Probably seen a bit more of the footy than she would have liked in this first quarter. Stain couldn't quite keep that in, and just a bit off with their disposal at the moment, Subiaco. But for Perth, they've got to be able to make the most of their opportunities inside 50. Subiaco, albeit a lot of team changes over the off-season, didn't reach a preliminary final for no reason. Comes down, Harding, one way than the other. Knew she had a teammate in the form of Baldwin to go to. And that'll be a boundary throw now. First, believe it or not, for the day. Almost 13 minutes into the first quarter. Warren up in the ruck with Newland. Warren, can she rip it out? She can't. Subiaco's players pleading for a free kick. Warren couldn't make first use of it. Had her arm pinned behind her. Did well to knock it out. Tompkins drawing the player there. Wanted to get to Petrevski. Petrevski wins out. The class on full display. Quick kick around the corner there from Shepherd. Can she spot up a target? Not quite. Lindgren this time playing from behind him. Timmins takes the mark. Up and under kick. Asks a fair bit, but mark taken in the end. Good passage of play to link up there with Davey. Davey plays on into the pocket, and this time they do take a mark. And it's Jess Green, who I thought she might have played on there, but crowd saying have a shot at goal. Distance not really an issue, more so accuracy, another behind for Perth. Both these teams had a little bit of trouble inaccuracy-wise this season. I know it troubled Subiaco last week where they couldn't quite hit the scoreboard in the first half. Another kick out of full-back for Lee. Newland and Peters just miscommunicating them up. Work out okay though for Smith. Smith around the corner, asked a bit of Shell, but if there's anyone who can do it, Jordan Shell can do it at ground level. She's second to the ball this time, but pressure was ferocious the whole way. Unlucky perhaps not to be rewarded. Nonetheless, those Subiaco get it as far as they have for a little while since that last goal to Courtney Lindgren. And a whistle. Anyway, Perth though, through Warren in the ruck. Moves it on to Trindade. And Perth are out here over the top. They can get it and go. A lot of time and space to work with. Tompkins closing in, so they do get it forward. Genuine 2-on-2. Who can get it ground level? That's textbook crumbing. All the way they can go the Ds and straight over the goal umpire's hat. Perth do get the bang for buck that they want. It's through Jess Green in the forward half. Just timed it to perfection off the set of hands and could have used the player herself, but don't mind that, backing yourself in and the finish told the rest of the story. Perth find their second. So back in the middle again, Jess Green's goal, 17 years of age, and that'll lift the spirits of the teammates. A second game after debuting last week against Claremont, but a first goal in WAFLW footy it was. So what a time to do so. Early stages of your senior career. You're going to get a free kick as well, Perth. So they've started this game the better side. Over the top there, couldn't quite hit the target. Good intercept though. The ball was in the air. Gooch, can she struggle off the opponent? She can't. Good pressure closing in there from Shell. Ball just remains on the edge of the boundary line. Shepherd got a kick away, but the pressure from Cox impacted the kick to go a bit more in favour of Perth. Trindade out wide, Smilgavic. Can she brush off opponent? She can. Did it with ease in the end. Quick kick there. It's going to favour Johnson, but the bounce suited the play in Strickland, who just came off the interchange bench at the perfect time. Hand pass over the top. Smilgavic grabs it. The former Bulldog kicks up forward. Subiaco this time to Peters, takes the mark and can compose themselves. Bit of added pressure as well in the back half. No Hallie Apis out there as well. There's a key cog in their back half. So Johnson down the line. Timmermans just stayed out of it. Smilgavic might have to go back in her direction. Timmermans this time on the boot. Quick kick forward. Attacking it at full steam was Johnson. It suited Shannon though, who can, off a standing step, go inside 50. I'm not sure Strickland was the target. She dropped the mark. In the end, it remains in the forward line. Peters under all sorts of pressure. Has to go backwards in the form now of Tompkin, who went off the deck. She's as far as back as she possibly could be. Around the corner. Bouncing ball. How does it suit? It suits Perth perfectly in the end, and a goal there to Brooke White. Fortune favours the brave, and Perth at the latter stage of this first quarter go in with a heap of momentum into the first change. That's her first goal since 2024, former Tiger. First as a Demon as well, so a couple of milestones ticked off for individuals, and this time Subiaco going to get an opportunity with under a minute to go. Then they go from the middle forward and find their second. Petrovski's going to go on a flash up towards centre half forward. A mark would be ideal. Plummer stands underneath. There was a good presence in the air. Brought it to ground level. Trindade holds it ground. Perth don't want to concede for all the good work that they've done to have this 14-point lead. That ball up will suit them in that facet. Warren taps down Petreski. A mark would be ideal here for Subiaco. Popovsky puts a head over it. And wanted a high free kick. Umpire wasn't buying it. And would have to be flawless from here. Subiaco to score their second. Petreski at the cold face again. Umpire delaying the whistle. And there is the quarter time siren. So Perth have got off to an ideal start. They've never beaten Subiaco in the WAFLW in 3 previous attempts. Of course, a long way to go here, but they'll go into the first break with a 14-point lead. A couple of goals late makes them have a bit more breathing room compared to how it was towards the start of the game. We'll go to a break here from Sullivan Logistics Stadium. We'll be back for the second quarter. It's the game of the round for round 11. Subiaco trailing Perth by 14 points live on YouTube. We'll be back right after this.
Smell rotten eggs indoors? That could be a gas leak. Leave the area and report it to ATCO on 13 13 52. Now you know, you're good to go.
They could have made it round.
Let's have a ball.
Instead, they made a swinging pendulum of luck.
Let's have a day. We'll do the rock. We'll do the ball. Let's have a ball. Don't tell
When the bounce serves you a clanger,
Lucky you're with Amy.
Hey, Rog, we got a Kia EV5. What do you reckon? You see my keys? The car stopped charging.
You snitch. Stay. What's massage mode? Oh, did we just become best friends?
Kia. Movement that inspires.
All the way west. You can't drive there. It lives in us. It's having skin and heart and nerve in the game. It's letting them hear you, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. All the way west is driving 6 hours every home game. It pushes us onwards, upwards, sideways and together. All in, that's just the beginning. We are all the way west.
they could have made it round.
Let's have a ball.
Instead, they made a swinging pendulum of luck.
Let's have a day. We'll do the rock. We'll do the ball. Let's have a ball. Don't
When the bounce serves you a clanger,
Lucky you're with Amy.
What is Kevin up to?
They just got the Kia EV4.
Do you love me now, Brian? Oh, poor Kevin.
Come on, mate. Let's get you cleaned up.
Kia. Movement that inspires.
Looks like I need a little TLC. Trust me, you don't want to see this.
Gas appliances should be serviced every 2 years. Now you know, you're good to go.
Welcome back to Sullivan Logistics Stadium. Quarter time here. Subiaco trailing Perth by 14 points, 117 to 3-3-21 at WAFLW. Game of the round. for round 11. Perth, an ideal start for them. Goals to Green, White and House. While Courtney Lindgren has the single for Subiaco. Leading disposal getter Paige Shepherd, as she most often is, up to 8. This is Smogovic, Annabelle Johnson, Krisha Petrovsky, all on 7 for their respective sides. Second quarter, all thanks to the West Coast Eagles. What can Subiaco do to climb back into this one? Petrovsky wins out. Quick kick around the corner to Steen. Lindgren just fell out of her grasp there for a second. Slung to the ground there. It was Tillmans. A teammate lost her footing, but won it back in the end. How about that effort? Unfortunately, though, she just clipped the legs there of Lindgren, who'll get it back. Kick to goal from the top of the goal square after a 50-metre penalty, and she'll get another one here. So a couple of 50-metre penalties for her. Could be 2 from 2, resulting in goals, and Subiaco need this to kickstart their second quarter. A bit further out from her last one, but shouldn't be an issue to convert from the top of the goal square. Courtney Lindgren to get it back to single figures for the Lions. Makes no mistake. And Perth, fortunately, have given away a couple 50-metre penalties. Lindgren's taking them with both hands, and back to what will now be an 8-point ball game. Back in the middle again. Plummer and Warren doing battle. Comes down the way of the D's. Baldwin just lost it for a moment. They had no prior. High free kick coming the way there of Britton. Britton in the direction there of Shannon, who started this game more so forward. Hip and shoulder went Petrovsky. Got it back in her grasp. Can't shrug off Shannon though. Hand pass there from Tonkin into the space there for the Lions. Could have been kicking in danger. Umpire let it go for a sec there. Trying to shrug off. Not once, not twice. And she'll be gone there, holding the ball. Edwards just took one too many Lions on in the end. Shepherd winning the free kick, up and under ball. Shell's going to sit underneath this one. Defensive pressure comes in the form there of Opolinski. Timmermans move the ball on quick. Britton. She was in 2 minds, and that might come back to bite her. Umpire said you did get a kick away. Lions can't believe it. Trindade. Passage of play, linking up nicely here through Shannon. Shannon wants to go over the top. Has a player on the wing. Just lost her footing, but classy players like Shannon can find a way to hit up another target there in Baldwin. Baldwin to the true centre-half forward position. Steen for Corrin. Did well there to find Petrescu. Eventually picks it up, moves it on there to Shepherd. They get the next link in the chain there through Kelly. Kelly kicks to Noah more hope than anything. Don't think this ball's going to stay, and it's not, so Perth will get a chance to bring it back in through Edwards. And no one's on the mark, so that affords her luxury to play on. Takes a bounce as well. Short ball. Just through the grass there, a bit too much to ask for. Davey, she follows up there, and quick kick forward from Trindade. Going to bounce all ends up, standing underneath it. Hard ball to Reed. Cox did well to kick the kick out. Davey puts it down at ground level and backs in Trindade, but standing underneath it, Lee read it best. And quick kick out to the far side. Boss can take a run and a bounce, does exactly that through the corridor. Can they go one end to the other? The Lions Woods has to stand underneath it. There's no one furthermore for Subiaco. Gooch mobs it up and hits up a fellow recruit in the off-season in Cox. Chipping ball for Britain. Up to 9 disposals now. Go short, Opolinski. Look to link up. And almost taking the diving mark there was Strickland. Hand pass just a bit too much on it. She'll get it back though. And another 1-2 linking up, although that might be a high free kick. Let the umpire know about it, but it was there every day of the week. And Perth looking to just control the tempo of this one as they've done for the most part of this first half so far. It's gone over 5 minutes gone. Appreciate your company here on YouTube, WAFL Official YouTube. We're all Colts and WAFLW games house in season 2026. Very accessible for footy fans everywhere. Clean pick up there from Trindade. Found Shannon. Shannon pumps it inside 50 and getting back to help out is milestone player, 50 games. Eva Popovsky kicks in the direction there of Smith. Ball didn't suit Subiaco whatsoever. Edwards can send it back in a similar direction. They're outnumbered here, Perth, but that might not matter. Green got it out. Cox caught on the wrong side. Did well in traffic to get it out. And Perth, can they find another one? Just hooking to the left-hand side of the goal post. That would have been one of the highlights so far. Good hand pass there out from Cox. Back into the corridor and didn't quite finish off, but nonetheless, Perth ominous in the second, and they might get it back. The old 7-point play. Not sure if Trindade knew it was a mark in the end because she played on where she might not have had to, but she'll get it back here. Again, Lee's playing that goalkeeper on the last line of defence, and she'll kick in the direction of Hobbs. Hobbs had to grab it on the second attempt. Quick kick out there by the Lions. Again, Trindade is everywhere at the moment, causing plenty of headaches, and especially when she hits up targets like that for the Perth Football Club. Too far out to score. Strickland just missed time to lead. Comes off the foot there with a fellow Perth forward. Back in the direction of Strickland. Shannon want to have the moment herself. Green, quick kick out again. It's Lee who stays out of it. Perth just letting her stay on the last side of defence. Trindade got the handball out. Shepherd around the corner. Popovsky's playing in front. That'll suit her to take the mark at ground level. Subiaco not showing any signs of slowing down. Popovsky back in the direction of Vincey Sharp. Hobbs comes to support. And everyone just takes their breath for a second. Subiaco can't fault their ambition to move the footy quickly, but get the feeling they're trying to match Perth in that sense and take the game on at all costs every single play. House. They want a free kick, but umpire said the tackle was legal there from Kokorin the whole way as it spills out of bounds just inside the forward 50 for Perth. They lead Subiaco by 9 points here at Sullivan Logistics Stadium. Ball thrown back in. Subiaco's Rogers cut one today by 24 points just before this one, so Perth won't want to make that 2 from 2 for their women's program, and Subiaco will get a free kick back their way through Shepherd. Speed disposal number 14, Trindade. Perth leading with 15 both sides. And pass comes down. Smolgavic, one way then the other. Had plenty of time and a boundary. A holding the ball free kick is the call. Kick down the line. Newland made a contest of it for Subiaco. A high free kick. Hobbs all over Edwards and did as best as she could with that tackling attempt. It was a tough one when you're on the verge of maybe a high free kick, but you've gotten to the play where you have. Shepherd taps it to her advantage, goes back in the direction of Petrosky. Doesn't have a whole heap of time to work with, but if there's anyone that can, it's the reigning Dara Kerr medalist. Bauer just put her hand over it to impact slightly. It was enough to get it to the possession there of Gooch. Shepherd didn't quite realise it was a mark in the end, and Boss takes the mark. Quick kick. Can she get it over the top to Popovsky? Stands her ground well, loses her footing, gives it out there to Woods. Woods, quick kick. A real falcon there to Smith. Accidental, of course, and the ball almost out of the back half now for Perth, and suspect they'll get it out there. Quick kick is enough to get it off to Baldwin, who's a time to space to work with. Newland's going to come across for Subiaco. Does really well with the tackle. Got it back out to the player that gave it to her first for the D's. Shannon breaks through and take a bounce if she wants to. Runs a full measure. Quick kick into the corridor. One-on-one. Winning that little battle. Amongst the battle was White. Shepherd again doing everything that she possibly can. And Subiaco out here through steam. She's got all the time in the world to work with. Perth are going to close it on her. Kick up towards half forward. Smith, the target in mind. Gives it there over the top. Boss, quick kick around the corner. Shell's playing from behind, and saving the day is Evie Gooch, who takes a sliding mark to deny Subiaco their second. Again, Perth wasting no time through Strickland, working up the ground. Her first outing since round 8. Of course, Perth had the bye last week, so that game she missed was obviously round 9. Shannon around the corner, snapping ball, gives her forwards a chance. Johnson in the direction now of Peters. Strickland kicks it as long as she possibly can and hope. Over the back. How does this bounce sit? Perth are going to be first to it. They're going to be able to slam on the boot straight away. Cavalry arrive for Subiaco. Hobbs gets back to help out. And they live to breathe another day the lines. And through the corridor was the right idea. Just a bit too much over the head of Tompkin. Going to test the pace and athleticism here in a foot race with Smith. Smith, Bauer. Perth doing enough to hang on at the moment for this 9-point lead. They'd love to enhance it. And a good mark there taken by Steen. Runner-up in there, Besson Ferris last year. Here's the winner of that. Petrovsky gives it back over. Popovsky had Boss. Can they move it one end to the other? Quick kick. Did she get a push as she kicked it? Didn't quite get the exact purchase she was after. Shell should grab this and run into an open goal. No problem. She'll run right to the goal line. And Subiaco, can that bring a bit of momentum that they've been searching for in this second? They close in, and all of a sudden we're back to under a golden margin. So Georgia Shell kicks the goal and then has a breather afterwards. It's going to be a warning against the Lions for not getting back into position in time. They're 3 points down though. Can Perth get the buffer out beyond that? Let's see what happens. 13 minutes gone in this second quarter. Petrovsky shrugged off, but umpire said holding the ball in the end. They're going to take advantage nonetheless here. Cox, quick kick for the D's. Over the top, great mark though taken on the second attempt by the Lions. Shepherd brushing through. Mark taken by Bosic. Kicked a goal last week in that game against Claremont. Perth playing in front this time, around the corner. Good link-up play. Timmermans breaks through. She runs up towards half forward. Lee again in the one-on-one. She wins out, and she's such a hard player to stop when she's in this sort of mode. Very underrated, you have to say, across the half-back. Kick gave chance there for the Lions, just across the goal face. Over the top, rushing through. Britton is going to come back in her direction. They probably mucked around a bit too much there, Perth, but nonetheless, Gooch will send it back in a slipper direction. Piercing ball. Lee had to fly again. Shannon's down there. She loses her footing. Subiaco. That was no prior, and Shannon's going to run into an open goal. The banana, she had a lot more time than she realised. Isabella Shannon, and a rare mistake for a player of her quality. Didn't probably realise she could have run to the top of the goal scorer and made it an absolute certainty. Subiaco Lee, punching ball there. Plummer just took her eyes off it. Hip and shoulder was legal from Gooch. She's had a couple of attempts inside 50 to link up and provide an assist. Umpire says, I'll have it. High free kick deemed by the non-officiating umpire in zone. Bosic. Long ball into the corner, going back with the flight with Gooch. Not enough time to impact in terms of a marking attempt is concerned. Great pressure there from Tompkins. Sets up the ball for Smith to be able to grab it cleanly. Perth dropping the ball. It's going to come back way Smogavic, but first to it, Bosic. Quick kick around the corner. Putting your head over it. Perth just remaining on that far side. Sunshine well and truly out now, so good to see the weather hasn't made an impact in this one. Hobbs was just wrong side of the umpire there, which impacted their ability to judge the ball. Cox breaking through up to a one-on-one. Lee again has done everything right this quarter and for the whole game really. She plays in front this time, denying Perth another shot at goal. Stays in the forward half over Perth. And we'll have a ball up. Just over 3 minutes remaining. Who will take the lead into the main break? It's Perth by 4 points. They lead 3-5, 3-1 at the moment. We've never beaten Subiaco from 3 previous occasions. The last of those being in round 2 of this year, where they went down by 12 points over at Mineral Resources Park. Britton, handball comes out. Plummer, making sure that ball's not going anywhere anytime soon. This time, Subiaco firing out, but Timmermans climbing the mark. Wants to go in the direction there of Trindade, who's having a massive impact on this game, and she sets up a target. Looks like it's White on the end of it. He's already kicked one from the other end of the ground, and perhaps one last chance for Perth to make a statement heading into half-time. Has to convert though. Been a little bit inaccurate in front of goal, Perth. Low ball. It's not going to make the distance without being impacted by a pack of players. Perth want to lock this one in and give themselves another opportunity. Kokaran just lost it for a moment. Quick kick out of there. They'd be pretty content, you'd have to say, Subiaco, to go into a half-time with a lead that Perth have by 4 points, considering how much domination Perth have really had. Airbus comes out. Steen did well to get a boot to Bold. Sun was in the eyes there of White. Timmermans mobs up. Does she break through? She can. Got to go back to the White. In fact, she's not. Ignored that outside of the boot. Smother there from Popovsky was tremendous. And umpire says, I'll have it. Maybe about 30 seconds by the time this ball is thrown up for either team to go one end to the other. Warren gives Trindade a chance. Smilgavic. Cox. And this push out free kick. Subiaco. They attempted to do it in the first quarter. They couldn't quite hit the goal face that they wanted to. That ball just the required 15. And might just be about it. Shepherd's going to fly for this mark. Cox comes across to inbound it. That'll be last disposal, but it won't matter as far as another score is concerned. Halftime here at Sullivan Logistics Stadium. It's game of the round for round 11, and if this first half is anything to go by, we're in for a thriller in the second half as Perth go into the main break by 4 points. Subiaco winning that quarter, though. That'll be positive for them heading into the main break. It's halftime, 3-1-19 Subiaco trail Perth 3-5-23. Perth aiming to beat Subiaco for the first time in their short WAFLW history. We'll find out after the break in the second half if they can do so. But for now, it's halftime live from Sullivan Logistics Stadium.
Smell rotten eggs indoors? That could be a gas leak. Leave the area and report it to ATCO on 13 13 52. Now you know, you're good to go.
They could have made it round.
Let's have a ball.
Instead, they made a swinging pendulum of luck.
Let's have a day. We'll do the rock. We'll do the ball. Let's have a ball. Don't tell
When the bounce serves you a clanger,
Lucky you're with Amy.
Hey, Rog, we got a Kia EV5. What do you reckon? You see my keys? The car stopped charging.
You snitch. Stay. What's massage mode? Oh, did we just become best friends?
Kia. Movement that inspires.
All the way west. You can't drive there. It lives in us. It's having skin and heart and nerve in the game. It's letting them hear you, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. All the way west is driving 6 hours every home game. It pushes us onwards, upwards, sideways, and together. All in? That's just the beginning. We are all the way west.
they could have made it round.
Let's have a ball.
Instead, they made a swinging pendulum of luck.
Let's have a day. We'll do the rock. We'll do the ball. Let's have a ball. Don't tell
When the bounce serves you a clanger,
Lucky you're with Amy.
What is Kevin up to?
They just got the Kia EV4.
Do you love me now, Brian? Oh, poor Kevin.
Come on, mate. Let's get you cleaned up.
Kia. Movement that inspires.
Looks like I need a little TLC. Trust me, you don't want to see this.
Gas appliances should be serviced every 2 years. Now you know, you're good to go.
Running through the last of my thoughts, standing on the edge of my time. Everything I know will be gone in a minute, and that's alright. Running through the last of my thoughts, standing on the edge of my time. Everything I know will be gone in a minute, and that's alright. Alright, 'cause I'm free. I'm freer than I've ever been before. Yeah, baby, I'm free. I'm freer than I've ever been before. Alright, 'cause I'm free. I'm freer than I've ever been before. Yeah, baby, I'm free. I'm freer than I've ever been before. Running through the last of my thoughts, standing on the edge of my time. Everything I know will be gone in a minute, and that's alright. Running through the last of my thoughts, standing on the edge of my time. Everything I know will be gone in a minute, and that's alright. Alright, 'cause I'm free. I'm freer than I've ever been before. Yeah, baby, I'm free. I'm freer than I've ever been before. Alright, 'cause I'm free.
Smell rotten eggs indoors? That could be a gas leak. Leave the area and report it to ATCO on 13 Now you know, you're good to go.
They could have made it round.
Let's have a ball.
Instead, they made a swinging pendulum of luck.
Let's have a day. We'll do the rock. We'll do the ball. Let's have a ball. Don't tell me
When the bounce serves you a clanger,
Lucky you're with Amy.
Hey, Rog, we got a Kia EV5. What do you reckon? You see my keys? The car stopped charging.
You snitch. Stay. What's massage mode? Oh, did we just become best friends?
Kia. Movement that inspires.
All the way west. You can't drive there. It lives in us. It's having skin and heart and nerve in the game. It's letting them hear you, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. All the way west is driving 6 hours every home game. It pushes us onwards, upwards, sideways, and together. All in, that's just the beginning. We are all the way west.
they could have made it round.
Let's have a ball.
Instead, they made a swinging pendulum of luck.
Let's have a day. We'll do the rock. We'll do the ball. Let's have a ball.
The bounce serves you a clanger.
Lucky you're with Amy.
What is Kevin up to?
They just got the Kia EV4.
Do you love me now, Brian? Oh, poor Kevin.
Come on, mate. Let's get you cleaned up.
Kia. Movement that inspires.
Looks like I need a little TLC. Trust me, you don't want to see this.
Gas appliances should be serviced every 2 years. Now you know, you're good to go.
Welcome back to Sullivan Logistics Stadium. Second half coming up between Subiaco and Perth. Third quarter thanks to Kia. And Perth by 4 points with a half a footy left as the players back on the ground. We're back into it. Players just sliding in there. Ball up. Beautiful conditions now. Start of the day was a bit overcast, but sunshine is out, so no excuses. Good day of footy. Steen tries to break the way of Shannon. Went to ground level. Good mark there taken by Boss. Often plays above her years. 15 years of age. up towards half forward. Start will be critical for both these sides. Days put the head over it. Shepherd stood in the way. Popowski next link of the chain. Quick kick inside 50. Smith's the target. Bounce didn't suit her too kindly off a standing step. Went Edwards for the D's. They keep it in through Petreski though. Hand pass to the top, Steen. Next link in the chain. How's the umpire see this? Holding the ball, and Perth eager to take the advantage through Britton. Britton in the 50. Down to the 50 for Subiaco. Shannon is off. She can take a bounce. Didn't look too conventional. She got it back though, just spilling through the hands of her teammate in the form of Opolinski. Kick around the corner. That's smothered off the boot. Subiaco's pressure. And both teams have been pretty good to start this second half. Going across, courageous effort in the air there from Tavallaro. Didn't take her eyes off it. Ball on this broadcast side. Hobbs feeds it out. Both teams doing their best to rip it out. They can't do so from each other. We'll have a ball up. Steen wins it out. Good pick up there from Bauer. The kick not going to stay in the field of play. Subiaco will get the free kick. Tacked it well though. Bauer just Richard rush maybe on the kick. And Steen coming up for disposal number 13. Ignores the short lead of Petrevsky. He's going to try and go longer. Goes up towards half forward. It's a bit of a floater. Plummer did everything well to read it. Tompkin slams it. Doesn't waste any time. Puts it in a dangerous position there for the Lions. Lingering's there. Perth first to the footy though, and they've done that well today. Warren edges Plummer out of it. It's going to be a tough task to keep that inside the field of play. Both teams do so. And eventually the ball does go out of bounds. We'll have a bounder throw in deep in the forward pocket for Subiaco. They have led today by 1 point in the first quarter, but ever since then it has been Perth who have controlled this one, but 4 points can be snatched away in an instant if Subiaco can make use of it in their forward 50. Umpire said no prior. That won't be 15 either. Both teams attack it nonetheless. Popovsky gets it out. Quick kick around the corner. Ambitious attempt there from Petrevsky, even by her standards. And another stoppage. Bauer, hand pass over the top. Just a bit too much there for Britton, who let it go. Baldwin did really well to break out of that contest. Subiaco have the extra number here. Test the athleticism of Plummer. Applied the Shepherd as well. Tavallaro eager to move it on by hand. She'll get it back potentially from Peters. Went off the deck to Tavallaro. Didn't stop trying. Cox is there. Players coming from all sorts of direction. Intensity still up the maximum, which you expect. Game of the round. They've all been close ones for the most part here on YouTube, and this one promising to be that as well. Shepherd wheels back on the right boot. Gives Smith a chance. Bounce. Couldn't have suited her any better. Kicks up towards the position of Lingering. Can she snap and turn her inside? Opponent inside out. She can do exactly that. The finish couldn't quite replicate her other ones, albeit a lot harder in general play rather than top of the goal scoring. Subiaco score behind their 3 points, trailing Perth here. 3-2-20 to Perth 3-5-23 as Perth bring it out of their back half. All games of WAFLW on today as well. 3 of them being 12-10 fixtures, including this one. Steen, she might have intercepted at a perfect time, just in front of Gooch there. Hand pass the direction of Popovsky. Is that a high free kick? Umpire said you ducked him, not quite. Ball's just staying in the vicinity there, smothered off the boot from Smith. Smith sees it over the boundary line with the Perth defence. Win is massive for these sides. Set off the top there. Both have negative win-loss records. 4-5 for Subiaco and 3-4 for Perth. Both been on the wrong side of some close results, particularly Subiaco. 6-point loss to Claremont, losses to East Fremantle as well. Popovsky trying to break through, and that's a goal-saving tackle there from Baldwin, who hasn't put a foot wrong much today. She's eager to bring it towards this broadcast side. Big fly there from Shannon, who takes the mark in front of Shepherd. State teammates on this ground. And WA Sandford W by a record-breaking 92 points last month. House wraps up her direct opponent in Kelly. As I mentioned though, Subiaco, yeah, close losses to East Fremantle and also Claremont. Throwing a Friday night loss here as well to Swan Districts, who have only lost one game himself. That game 3 points that Subiaco on the wrong side of as Perth pick up. This is about as far as they've got it in this third term. Johnson's going to go back to the fly. Could have marked, but went for the defensive approach, fisting it almost to herself in the end. She's going to follow up her work, gets a kick in the nick of time out the way of Kelly, who spins out. Genuine 1-on-1 Tompkin on the far side. Cavalry going to arrive for both players' sakes, and her ball up again. Hard to get free-flowing footy for the most part. Testament to both sides going at it, not giving an inch to the other. How about the win out there for Perth? But the tackle was equally as impressive from Subiaco. They'll go into the corner and find Shepherd. Shepherd had to look to try and switch up, but looks like she's going to go the side that it has remained on. Find Steen on the wing. Lingering just a bit too much to ask for her. Strong tackle though to follow up. Paige Shepherd started this third quarter like a house on fire. 26 disposals, 10 more than the next best. And Trindade, who had that mantle earlier in the game. Looks like Kelly's going to win a free kick for the Lions. Lindsay Sharp, the target there. It's going to be brought back in. Lindsay Sharp to do that. Seventh disposal for her today. In the direction there of Plummer. Perth reading it really well, just hacking out of jail. First opportunity they can. House had to fly for it. Johnson, terrific in the air. Had a couple of looks at it and eager to move it on. Kokorin inside 50. Can they get a mark here? Subiaco playing from behind was Popovsky. They do lock it in. Kick around the corner. Shannon did well. Gives her teammates a chance. Underneath it, outnumbered was Green. Kicked the first goal in WAFLW footy to start the game. Peters takes the safe chest mark right in the centre circle. There's players coming on and off for both teams. Both rucks taking a breather. Plummer and Warren coming off. Perth, meanwhile, get a turnover in their advantage. Shepherd, or rather it's Shannon, I should say, for Perth, who takes the uncontested mark. They just had to wait. The furthest forward that's just come on the ground is White, but has to have an opportunity to run to that side of the ground first. Short kick as a result of that for Perth. Smolgavic over the top. Umpire says, give it to me. I feel like the loser of this potentially is going to be playing catch up towards the back end of the season. A lot more than the winner. Does have that feeling of an 8-point game. Perth in the middle of the ground now, putting their head over. Was that a high free kick? Umpire said it was. Polinsky. Dangerous kick, but putting a lot of trust in their fellow teammates. Gooch is calling for it on the wing. Well-weighted kick over the top. Gives an opportunity for Gooch to take the mark. Looks more corridor, and a good mark there taken by House. Yeah, a kick and a half, maybe, from goal. Lowers her eyes, and not 15, the call by the umpire, so Kelly had to play on. Perth have the extra number. Bow did well to get separation on an opponent. Couldn't quite stick the mark. Through congestion went House over the top. They combine now through Power. Low ball. Looked the goods, but getting a crucial hand in. Shannon recognised she had the pride, had to get the handball out. Likewise, Green didn't have pride herself. And Perth won't mind this being trapped in. They can try and do what Subiaco couldn't do when the ball was trapped in themselves in this third quarter. To score a goal and get this lead out. Furthermore, Strickland doing the ruck duties. Shannon there. Again, can't be separated. Strickland does it herself. Couldn't quite finish though. Just sneaks in for a behind in the end. That would have been something out of nothing for Taya Strickland. 4 points the lead. Still a fair way to go in this game. Quarter and just under 8 minutes. Plenty of twists and tails you'd suspect. Johnson out of the back half. Finds Lee. Often the player who's kicking that ball in the first place. Tavalara just waited for it. And Shannon intercepting. Is she finishing as well? And similar to that last kick there from Strickland, just goes to the right-hand side, but reading that play, snatching it out of mid-air, and Shannon was off before you knew it. Britain, boss now for the Lions. What can they make of it? Tompkin, the target. Ball bouncing the other direction though, trying to break through, and that'll be an incorrect disposal. The Lions get a free kick their way. Tavalaro underneath it. Good crumbing there, and on the non-preferred went Tompkin, trying to get something moving for the Lions. Going back with the flight though, really well done by Paige Bauer. And free player there, the experience of White. And this player on the ground, I said earlier in the game, House was, but a couple of veterans there getting mixed up. Calling for it on this broadcast side was Harding. Inclusion today. Tries to get the 1-2. Here's Edwards for Perth. Here is House, who just stayed out of it. There's a paddock of space to move with on the half-forward flank. House gets the 1-2. They were on the same page there, the D. Shannon's floating over the top. Going to be caught up against the boundary line. Can she spin out? Isabella Shannon does the team thing. Goes back in board to Britain. Britain can gather. Can she finish off cleanly? Two of their stars combining in the form of a goal. Shannon to Britain, and the goal. The final combination in the end. They made hard work of it, Perth, but that'll give the breathing room that they're after. So Holy Britain, who's had another solid contribution today, 15 disposals up to this point, and now a goal. And who knows how critical that goal could be if we get towards the latter stages of this third term. Trindade out wide. Just overrun it there. Kokorin didn't take her eyes off the footy though. Good handball over the top. Gave Petrovsky a chance. First to it though. Trindade. Diving on top of it, Petrovsky. And umpire says, I'll have it furthermore. So just caught up here off that last goal to Holly Britton. Warren, another hit out to her name. Shepherd rated it best though. Timmermans over the top. Didn't want to give away a free kick. Ferocious with the follow-up was lingering. Plummer down to Steen, almost threw it out in the end. Umpire, a bit of a delayed whistle, but said, yeah, I saw that as well. House makes a made an impact in the last passage of play to set up that goal eventually to Britton. That was touched off the boot, so hit the deck as well, so the umpire. Warren, one of the high free kick. Smugavik also playing the umpire's attention. Shepherd, quick kick out of there. Lingering, he should pick up. Timmerman's right by her side. Just going back was Bosic. It was a clever passage of play because she knew that Steen was by herself despite being close in on the boundary line. Shell outnumbered. Perth win out again and a bit too much over the head there of Warren, but picking up White. Smogavik breaking through. If she can get a handball over the top, they could have been out there, but Vinci Sharp, that was a great intercept there, and the kick to match it as well. In free spaces, Popovsky got the handball out. Bosic going to turn around on the left. Quick kick inside 50. Perth through Warren. Hand pass out. Handball and hope more than anything. Steen does it herself. Sends it up towards half forward. Good passage of play. Boss wants to isolate Lingard. One out. Was probably a fraction too high, but Lingard almost snatched it in the air and said, I'll make full use of it. Couldn't quite in the end. Unlucky there not to be rewarded. Trindade, she's been given a mountain of time and she's going to be caught here. Shell, she's on the wrong side for a left footer. Does that matter though? Georgia Shell, we've seen this time and time again in the WAFLW when she's up against a tight angle, and unfortunately for her sake, it was a good kick, but not enough on it to trouble the scorers. And Perth can have an opportunity maybe for one last crack themselves, seeming very likely they're going to go into the last break as they've done all day with a lead. Just a matter of how much. Almost thrown out there by the Lions. Britton, brick wall to get past in that contest. Hand pass over the top. Here's a chance. Popovsky around the corner, setting it up to the tip of the goal square at full stretch, and it's going to be rewarded for a free kick to Subiaco right at the tip of the goal square. That'll frustrate Perth because they would have gone into three-quarter time with a 11-point lead. Now, if Lingard can convert from a distance that she's been all too familiar with today, this time a free kick for pushing the back rather than the two previous 50-metre penalties. This will get her back to under a goal. If she can do what she's done from this range, which she does, and it's all going to be set up for a thrilling last quarter. That'll be the last kick of the third term. 5 points, the ball game. And as I said, it's all set up for a fascinating last 20 minutes of football. Perth have been in the box seat, but Subiaco have not too far behind them. And that's where this game is set up with 20 minutes to play. Perth aiming to beat Subiaco for the first time in their short history. This is their fourth game against the Lions since last year. We'll wait to see how it shapes right after the break. Final 20 minutes coming up. Subiaco, they trail Perth on their home deck by 5 points. Back right after this.
Smell rotten eggs indoors? That could be a gas leak. Leave the area and report it to ATCO on 13 Now you know, you're good to go.
They could have made it round.
Let's have a ball.
Instead, they made a swinging pendulum of luck.
Let's have a day. We'll do the rock. We'll do the ball. Let's have a ball. Oh, don't tell me if you do.
When the bounce serves you a clanger,
Lucky you're with Amy.
Hey, Rog, we got a Kia EV5. What do you reckon? You see my keys? The car stopped charging.
You snitch. Stay. What's massage mode? Oh, did we just become best friends?
Kia. Movement that inspires.
All the way west. You can't drive there. It lives in us. It's having skin and heart and nerve in the game. It's letting them hear you, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. All the way west is driving 6 hours every home game. It pushes us onwards, upwards, sideways, and together. All in? That's just the beginning. We are all the way west.
they could have made it round.
Let's have a ball.
Instead, they made a swinging pendulum of luck.
Let's have a day. We'll do the rock. We'll do the ball. Let's have a ball. Oh, don't tell me if you do.
When the bounce serves you a clanger,
Lucky you're with Amy.
What is Kevin up to?
They just got the Kia EV4.
Do you love me now, Brian? Oh, poor Kevin.
Come on, mate. Let's get you cleaned up.
Kia. Movement that inspires.
Looks like I need a little TLC. Trust me, you don't want to see this.
Gas appliances should be serviced every 2 years. Now you know, you're good to go.
Welcome back to Sullivan Logistics Stadium. Final 20 minutes of this game around for ATCO WAFLW, around 11, just around the corner. It's Perth with 5 points to the last quarter. They've led at every change to date. Subiaco, though, they've made a bit of a reputation in recent times for coming back when they have been behind. They did it last week. Although they didn't beat Claremont, they won the last quarter pretty convincingly in the end. So last quarter, thanks to Kia, Perth, can they get their first ever win over Subiaco? We wait to see as they get the first clearance. Shepherd's going to call for up to 30 disposals now. Another big game for her. She wanted it to be reflected in the win, though, for the team's sake. Cox can't quite pick that up for Perth. Thrown back in. Warren and Plummer resuming their battle. Warren up to 34 hitouts now. But they that battle pretty easily in terms of hitouts are concerned. Getting the 1-2 was Baldwin into the heart of the ground. Wants to give Green a chance. Playing from behind, really well done there by Tavalaro. Quick kick around the body on the non-preferred. Has to attack it well. Shell did so. Petrevsky, good handball out. Tompkin underneath it. Let it go though for lingering, which is the right call in the end. Popovsky is the furthest player back to goal. Doesn't quite hit her the way she'd like, but going to be first to the ball. Picks up cleanly, sidesteps opponent. Was that a trip there? Didn't matter. Boss holds her ground. Could have taken advantage, didn't want to in the end. Probably the right call as Gooch was closing in on her, and Caitlin Boss will go back and might just be on the verge of her distance. We'll wait to see what Leeds present for Subiaco, or if she's just going to kick in hope to the top of the goal square. She's going to back herself in, setting the ball up off the side of the boot a little bit, and on the second attempt, taking the mark was Edwards for Perth. Mark taken as well by Britton. Across the face of goal. Now through the corridor, through Baldwin. And they take the mark. Just through the fingertips of the intended target, further up the ground, being White. Petrevsky on the rebound for Subiaco. Popovsky's going to stand underneath it. Did well, but coming through Edwards, and she's played terrifically today in that back half role. Good mark taken on the second attempt by the Lions, and Petrevsky will get it back. So settle things down, which hasn't always been the approach today. No one on the marks. That affords her the luxury to roll forward a bit more. Popovsky again makes a good contest of it. Shell smothered off the boot. Can she get the handball out? She knew she had a teammate. Tompkins going to go back with the flight. Giving away a lot of size, though, to Opolinski in the air. And Perth live to see another day for now. Of course, still a long time this quarter, so they're going to have to still attack as usual and not try and hold on, if that makes sense. Here's Shannon. Getting the ball moving for Perth in this last quarter. McLaren, great mark again. Done that a couple of times in a row. Going short. Here's Shepherd. No real obvious options, so just has to assess the options, and it's a dangerous ball to be, dangerous area to be in two minds about. Luckily, Steen gathered cleanly, goes direction there of Plummer, hand pass over the top. Right idea, and the bounce suited Steen to get the ball moving. In hit a Tompkin. Tompkin takes the mark. He's going to be too far to score. She has scored goals in the last 2 meetings against Perth. Goes short now and finds Lingering just the required distance in the end. And she's got a big kick on her. So for number 4, and to say this would be the toughest of them all would be an understatement, considering the other 3 have been from close range. Courtney Lingering has become that number 1 target in season 2026, crossing over from East Perth after being let go by the West Coast Eagles. She played in the state game victory on this ground, hasn't been goalless since round 6. It's a pretty good kick in the end, and it's a goal. She's kicked 4 of the best. The last one, as important as they get, and didn't seem like she put her full effort into it as well, which is a sign of how far she can kick. And on this occasion, it was as accurate as it needed to be. And Subiaco, for the first time since the opening quarter, hit the front. And Perth this time about to find the answer, which has been an unfamiliar trait of theirs today. Back in the middle again, Perth led for so much of this game. They find themselves 1 point behind. Courtney Lingering has kicked 4 for Subiaco upon return. Shannon trying to break her way through. Can't do so, but didn't have any prior. Shannon wins it out. Hand pass there, a bit too hot. Smogavik putting her head over it. Old-fashioned torpedo, successful there from Petrevski. Petrevski gives Lingering a chance, and silver service in the end. There's no one in goal, so she could have been tempted to maybe wheel around and have a shot from long range out. She's going to go for number 5, and she's backing herself in. This would be an almighty effort, but learn anything, then you wouldn't want to rule her out. So Courtney Lingering for back-to-back goals, and to add number 5 from a long way out. She disguises it well. Couldn't quite hit up Georgia Shell, though. Not the worst result for Subiaco, because it will be locked into their front half. Here the calls of lock it in. That's exactly what they'll try and do. Ball thrown in. Plummer and Warren. Plummer, fresh airy, went off the deck. Perth through Gooch, just lose the footy. Here's Shell, tucked up around the corner. Shell, how's the bounce sit? Did it fool them all? Not quite in the end. Not sure if it got a touch to it, but didn't matter because it went the wrong side of the post. 2-point lead for Subiaco now. I just wonder, they've been in a lot of close situations this year, last year as well. The experience in close games, I feel, lies in their favour. Here come Perth, though, through Opolinski. Out of half back, sitting underneath it. Great mark taken there by Popovsky. In her 50th game. Woods, the target. Gooch knew she had Trindade over the top. Floating ball. Peter's going to sit underneath this one, takes the mark. Call to play on. It's a dangerous ball. Almost went backwards in the end. How far did Power run? Enough for it to not be run too fast at the umpire. Shannon, great tackle there. They move the ball on quick, just a split second behind Strickland. Lee, there's a few lines she can spot up, but coming off the interchange bench at a critical time was Cox. First game in almost 10 weeks. She hasn't played an opponent other than Subiaco in the WAFLW yet. For sounding steps, Shannon will gather. Position number 23 for her. Smolgavic, short ball, has enough weight on it in the end, and they get it up towards centre half forward. Here is Baldwin. Strickland's on a lead. Get the feeling she might want to go a bit deeper. But she does try and on a lead there of Shannon. Around the corner, not 15. Here's a chance for Perth. Again around the corner, it's going to be out of bounds on the full, just. Not much in it between out of bounds on the full and out of bounds. Regular, but Subiaco now. Just a matter of marking players for Perth. Just gone over the halfway mark in this fourth quarter as Shepherd, another disposal for her coming up. Goes short. Down the line, Shell wants it. Running full force, the opposing number 15, Opolinski, snatch it out of her grasp. Perth have the numbers. Shannon doing everything she can at the moment to a central position. Lee's going to fly over the top. It was touched off the boot anyway. Here's Cox. Textbook crumbing. Can she get boot to ball? Umpire gave her the benefit of the doubt. Had a lot of time to work it there, did Caitlin Cox, and trying to make an impact on the scoreboard as well. Strickland back down the way of Cox. Fierce bump there laid in the tackle. Coming across, dangerous ball to clear. It's a lot more central, but Edwards gives it back out. Baldwin off a standing step, gives her forward to Chance. Coming over the top, Shannon attacked it well. Petreski's playing for a free kick for a hold, not to be. Balls just stays in the vicinity. Lee holds her nerve well, gives Hobbs a chance, but right with her foot races on between her and Power. Power's going to be first to the ball. Did really well to break free of the opponent. Couldn't have done better, in fact. And spots up Holly Britton. Did really well there, did Matilda Power, to get rid of Ruby Hobbs and then also have the composure to lower her eyes. Here's Britton, who's kicked one goal today from the other end. Emerging leader of this Perth outfit. It's going to be a floater. Accuracy looks pretty good. Is that a mark taken? It is going to be. And it's going to be right in the goal square for Perth. And it looks like it's going to be, guess who? Isabella Shannon, who kicks the goal. And all of a sudden, Perth are back into the lead. Not an easy task to mark that footy with so many players around it. And again, it's the Britton and Shannon show who combine like they did at the other end, although this way, the other way around for Shannon to convert. And by the time this ball is thrown up, we'll have about 6 minutes remaining. So it's going down to the wire as projected. Could it be a case of next goal wins? Anything can happen in 6 minutes. Trying to rip it out of there, Perth. Baldwin, who's lifted as this game has gone on. Strickland getting involved, playing in the ruck position. Over the head, trapping in front to her advantage there was Johnson. Again, Baldwin at the coalface. Umpire says, I'll have it. Going to be a delay here as looks like Blood Rule. Subiaco going to be replaced there by Trindade. Perth also doing a change while they're at it, with Sophie Williams coming onto the ground for Tilda Power. So we reset again. Just over 5 minutes remaining. Perth, if they get one more, it might be enough. Subiaco been in this situation a lot more than they'd like, these close games. Mark taken there by White. Kicked a goal at the start of the game. Puts a lot of trust there in Britain, coming across to impact the Lions. Spun out Baldwin. Britain, can she shrug off herself? She can't. Johnson right there with her. Corin goes back. Shepherd over the top. Shepherd one way then the other. Holding the ball. Perth's pressure has been fantastic. I'm just looking over the coaching box. They appreciate it as much as anyone. Clock continues to run. There's no rush whatsoever. So these are valuable seconds being chewed off the clock. One more just could be about it for Perth. Long ball into the pocket. Subiaco expect them to knock this through. They do, and probably best result in that instance there. 5-point ball game. They need to go quick, Subiaco, but there's also enough time where it doesn't have to be a complete rush. Pushed off it and a delayed whistle. Come back the way of Paige Shepherd. 35 disposals. Only player that's reached the 30 mark today as it stands. Isabella Shannon the next best at 26. Newland, good mark taken by her. Kulkaran to Steen. She's eager to play on, lowers her eyes. Tompkin takes the mark. Popovsky's over the top, as to Steen, gives it back to Lisa Steen. Can she set up a play? Popovsky's going to take a mark. She sure does now. She might be just on her verge. Looks like she's going to go back and have a routine in some way, shape or form. She was tempted to go to the pocket. Now, Eva Popovsky in game number 50 has not scored a goal this year. That's not her best effort, although it might set up another attempt. Perth, what composure can they show this young Perth outfit in year number 2 in the WAFLW? They show great composure there to a Trindade. Couldn't quite take the mark though. Harding stays on the half-forward flank, holding the ball. Here's Boss. Wants to find Lingeren. Up and under ball. Lingeren sent underneath it, but just as effectively was Sienna Timmermans, who may have had 4 goals kicked against her through no fault of her own. Takes a really effective mark. Shannon had a couple of bites at the cherry. Lost her footing in the end. Trindade comes through. Quick kick. Shepherd. Up and under ball. Not going to be a required 15. Taking the mark was Britain. She didn't realise that it wasn't going to be paid because of the distance. Under 2 minutes remaining. Perth so close to a memorable win for their sake. They've led for most part of the day, slung around. Can Subiaco steal it late? Petrevsky puts a head over it. Pumps it inside 50. Can Timmermans keep it in? Is that out of bounds on the full? Not quite. And an anti-density warning coming. But valuable seconds are being chewed off the clock here, which for Perth's sake is not a bad thing at all. Looks like it's going to be a boundary throw in. Right where, in fact, it's going to be a free kick for Perth. Not sure what's happening whatsoever here. Umpires don't know themselves. But either way, there's valuable seconds being thrown off the clock. So it's going to be a ball up. Or is it a free kick? It's going to be a free kick to Carrie Plummer. This is probably to win the game. With under 30 seconds remaining, Carrie Plummer for Subiaco. She's missed. Can you believe it? She's missed from the top of the goal square in Perth. You thought for a second there they could have had it stolen out of their grasp. But Perth are going to take all the seconds they want, all the clock here, and barring something, a miracle happening, they're going to hold on for their first ever win in controversial circumstances against Subiaco. They're going to win there for the first time against Subiaco in their short history. 3 previous encounters that they lost. They win the 4th, and we're not sure what happened at the end there. I don't think anyone was certain. In the end, it was Carrie Plummer, who you have to feel for, missing that shot. Unfortunately, Subiaco players will get around her. And of course, you can't put it down to just that kick in the end, as there's so many moments leading up to that moment. But as far as Perth is concerned, an absolute frantic finish there. It's full time. Subiaco 5-4-34, going down, and unfortunately another close game. Been a bit of a theme for them, but Perth taking nothing away from them. 5-8-38. They come away with the victory off the back of the bye. So that'll give us some momentum heading into round 12, with our first Peel Thunder back at home next Saturday. Subiaco on Sunday versus East Fremantle on this very ground. Looking at some of the key contributors in a classic game of footy. Paige Shepherd had 36 disposals with Subiaco, the only player to get over 30 in the end. Lisa Steen not far behind her on 27. Isabella Shannon, leading possession getter, with 26 for the Demons. And as far as goals were concerned, it was the Courtney Lindgren show. She kicked 4 of the 5 goals for Subiaco. 1 goal to Isabella Shannon, Jess Green, a first in WAFLW footy. Georgia Shell, the other for Subiaco, while Britton and House, also White, kicked goals to start the game there. Players shake hands from both sides. Great to see great sportsmanship shown in controversial circumstances, but Perth deservingly winners today. They led for the most part of the afternoon, and they come home with a victory. They've just about knocked off most teams in the WAFLW competition. They add Subiaco to the bucket list there today, and they do it in a fashion of 4 points. My name is Ethan Roth. It's been a pleasure bringing you all the company from Sullivan Logistics Stadium, round 11 of the WAFLW. His game of the rounds keep living up to the hype, and in the instance of today, it was Perth who came with a 4-point victory, I should say, to close this one out. They'll sing the song loud and proud. We'll see you next time from Sullivan Logistics Stadium. Perth, 4-point victors.